Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry about that. We're back. We're ready to go. Excuse how I look because I am a sweaty, disgusting mess. I haven't had a chance to shower yet and I just got back from volunteering at the dog shelter, like the local shelter near me. And I just took the doggies on a walk today, which was great, but it was in like the midday sun. So I am warm, but I thought, let's get this Q&A done first because I've been putting it off for weeks because I'm lazy. I'm lazy at the moment. And I thought I need to chat to you guys. So I asked you guys a few weeks ago to ask me some questions. I know everyone's had a lot of questions, so I'm going to answer them. I'm going to do it quickly. I'm going to quick fire this as quick as I can because you know I love to drag it out normally and I speak very slowly, but I'm hungry. So the quicker we can get through this, the better, because then the quicker I can eat. Let's get going. The main question, so like the main question everyone's had is, have you moved to the USA permanently or is it temporary? So no, I have not moved permanently. I am on a visa, so I'm only gonna be able to live here for like the duration of my visa, but obviously, as you all know, I have a life back in England. I have a business, the horses, friends, stuff like that. So I wouldn't say I've like moved here completely. I would say it's kind of like part-time. I don't know how to explain it properly, but I will be back in England visiting a lot. So I'll be riding the horses then. I will be working at Blackheart. I will see all my friends. It will be fine. Do not worry. I am not just from the UK. I would love to tell you guys more detail about everything, but I have learned that it's probably best to keep it vague. Every time I've said anything, I've had like trolls on social media kind of rip my words to pieces and be really negative. So I would just rather like keep it chill. I just want an easy life, you know? Somebody asked me how was the visa process and how long it was, and let me tell you, the visa process is not for the weak. Anyone who's been through it will know it is effort, and obviously I'm sure it depends on which visa you are going for, but mine was pretty lengthy. So I would say all in all it took about a year start to finish. I'm sure some people do it quicker, I'm sure some people do it longer, but for me personally it was about a year. And I wouldn't say it was difficult just because it was lengthy and there was a lot of information I had to gather, a lot of hoops you have to jump through and like boxes you have to tick, stuff like that. It was a huge amount of paperwork. I'm pretty sure mine was about 300 pages long, something like that. And you have to do an interview in person at the consulate, so that was quite nerve-wracking, but all good. We got approved, so here I am. Also, if you are looking to do the visa process, I recommend getting an immigration lawyer to help you. I would not have known one end from the other if I hadn't done it with a lawyer. So get a lawyer and don't compare your process to mine. Everyone's will be different. Everything will be different depending on the visa you get, whatever, but just get a lawyer. They will help you more than I can. One question was, what do you like most about the States? Like, what appealed to you? Oh, I've got so many things. There's a lot to love about America. I mean, everybody has their opinion on America and everyone is entitled to it. I personally really like it. I enjoy the food. I enjoy quite a lot of the culture. The scenery, the weather for one. I mean, Florida has been hit with a bad hurricane and then there's another one on the way. So that's been quite stressful, not personally for me because where I am, it's on the edge, so I have been quite lucky and I've missed it. So the weather has been really extreme in Florida and my heart goes out to all the people that are affected. It's been really scary. I mean, a lot of the people that have just been hit by Hurricane Helene are now gearing up to be hit by Hurricane, is it Milton? Which I can't even imagine how devastating that would be to have one so close after the other, and a lot of people I know have lost their homes and all that. So obviously the weather can be very, very bad. Where I am specifically, it's a bit more mild. So for the most part, I do like the weather here. I'm not used to waking up in the sun every morning and driving around in the sun. It's been odd, to say the least, especially because it's now October. So I'm not used to October in the sun. It's crazy for me. And it's been really hot. It's been like 30 degrees every single day, which I personally love the heat. So that has been a big, big, big plus. Will you miss home and go back to visit regularly? So obviously, of course, yeah, I miss so much about home. I miss my horses, I miss my friends, I miss my business, I miss my family, but I do speak to them all the time. I'm very lucky, I get updates. You know, I'm so glad I'm in a generation where FaceTime exists. I don't know what people did before that. So I FaceTime them all the time, which is great, and I will be going back soon. So can't wait to visit. I miss some English food actually. I think I need to get myself a Greggs ASAP Rocky, and then I think I'm gonna get some chocolate and Quavers. I need some Quavers. Side note from the America stuff, somebody asked, what is your love language? So this is a really random one, but I like that. If you guys are not familiar with love languages, it's like the 5 ways you like give and receive love, or like you want to. I'm not really sure the ins and outs of it, but there's pretty much 5, and I think it's physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, and acts of service. I would say I'm pretty much all of them. Like I like words of affirmation because I like people saying nice things. Gifts are great, but it's not gifts. I think that one should be changed to thought, because I like the thought, and I feel like, you know, when someone gets you something small because they're like, oh, I thought of you, love that. Acts of service is also great. It's so nice when somebody does something helpful for you. Quality time, that's a good one, but that one I could live without a little bit. I've been used to long distance in the past, so that is not the end of the world for me. And then what was the other one? I can't remember the one I said. Oh well, but that's pretty much it. And then I think the way I give love, definitely words, definitely gifts, and definitely acts of service. I think yesterday my boyfriend was getting home from work really late, so I just decided, like, I don't cook and I don't like cooking, and I always said I'd never cook for a man, but I just decided to make him a lasagna from scratch because I was like, he deserves a home cooked meal. So yeah, and I specifically chose lasagna because I googled, well, when I say Google, I chat GPT'd what would be the best meal to reheat later, like to bake later, because I made it in the day and then I baked it in the evening, so it was nice and hot when we got home. Anyway, also back at school, what was your favorite subject? So I was not a fan of school, did not like school very much. I wasn't a fan, but I did enjoy business. I enjoyed English until it got really, really lengthy and like so dramatic, describing the smallest little details. And then I also quite liked, I did PE, or like physical, whatever it was called, but I didn't love it because I liked the half that was actually PE, that was physical. I didn't like the half that was like theory, whatever you call it, because when I did a test, I knew the answers, but because you didn't write the exact right word, they marked you down. So anyway, I have a bone to pick with school. I don't feel like everybody should be assessed and measured in the exact same way, because everybody is different and everybody has things they're better at. And I think it's a very one-size-fits-all method. But anyway, those days are long behind me. Your girl's 27 now, so she's done school, uni, everything. Those days are done. Now if I do a test or if I learn something, it's typically for fun. So, what is your favourite American thing? I think I just couldn't pick just one. There's so many things I like. So many random different things. Let's pick one off the top of my head. I don't know. The beach. No, that's such a bad one because there's beaches everywhere. I don't know. What degree did you study? So I did a business management degree, and I did uni. Again was a weird one for me because I set up Black Heart Equestrian, one of my companies, in the literal first year of uni. I think it was within the first few months of being there because I was in halls, and I learned way more from owning a business than I did in a business degree. By the last year, I was living back home and commuting, and I think I turned up 2 or 3 times and I ended up getting a 2-1. So I think the system was a little flawed, but that could have been the uni I picked and the degree I picked. Obviously, I do think it's very, very important to get a degree in subjects that really require one, like, I don't know, medicine, architecture, stuff like that. But I for me personally, I don't think it was entirely necessary to get a degree because I already had a business that was pretty much 3 years old by the time I graduated. It was quite easy though, because I did do my like last assignment and everything on my company, which was pretty cool. Were you able to quickly adapt to the cultural differences between Britain and the USA? So this one is actually a really good question because I don't think this is talked about enough. So I have been going to America for years and years and years. My mum loved it, so she was like, I want my kids to grow up visiting, going to different states, stuff like that. And I've got friends in the US, I've spent a lot of time here. So I thought I was pretty clued up on the differences, and I didn't think there was that many. And then it was actually last year when I spent a bit of time in South Carolina, and that could have just been the state, but I started noticing some severe differences. And like, I mean, I say severe, they're small, but they end up feeling more severe. So like, we obviously have the same words, but they just have different meanings, and I think that's quite difficult. And also just like different ways of behaving. Like in America, you can say thank you and someone will say like you're good, or or yeah, or something like that. Whereas in England, you just say you're welcome or no problem. But if you say no problem here, they look at you a bit funny. And it took me a little bit of time to get used to like the you're good. But I quite like it. It's a little bit, like, it's not dismissive, but it's a bit quicker. It's like, yeah, you're good, let's move on. The one thing I would say is it is difficult because I think lots of people aren't as aware of the differences, me included. So people don't give you the benefit of the doubt, or they don't give you any leeway for it. And I think it's because pretty much we look the same, we sort of sound the same, we speak the same language, that kind of thing. So people just assume you would know exactly how to say things and how to mean things. Whereas I feel like if English was not my first language, people might give me the benefit of the doubt more. They might think, oh, it's not her first language, she didn't mean it like that. Whereas I think occasionally people here think I'm being rude, and I'm not. I'm just either confused or I'm trying to say something that, I don't know. That's one of them that I thought was interesting. And then other than that, I would say in the UK, I mean, I'm just speaking from the area I'm from, but I would say we are not a highly religious area. I'm not sure. I don't know that many people that are super religious in the UK, and which is ironic because I went to a Catholic school. But in the US, almost every single person is quite heavily religious, and I think that's just a really interesting difference. I'm not even sure why that would be, but that's one of them. How did you decide where to open a Koba store in real life? So I think this one is such a no-brainer. I think Florida, what do you think of when you think of Florida? You think beaches, sun, vacations, holidays, stuff like that. So obviously Koba being predominantly a swimwear brand, I mean, I'm hoping to grow and add different elements to it, but it is first and foremost a swimwear brand. So I would say swimwear is just naturally going to sell better in a hot country where people go to the beach. We do quite a lot of sales online already, but you know, we are not blessed in England. We are not blessed with our weather, our beaches, and I think it's a lot more seasonal in the UK. Here, there is gonna be somewhere that is hot, and Americans do like to take little mini vacations or staycations or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of people come down to this area for weekends, stuff like that. So it just made sense in my brain. I thought it was a really good business move for Koba. So career goals is what somebody asked, which I think is an interesting question as well, because I would say I am very, very lucky. I have 2 successful businesses that I adore with my whole heart, and for 27, I think I'm in a really good position, you know, owning 2 companies, living life, rolling with it. So I would say I don't really have any further career goals other than what I'm currently doing, building on it, growing, learning, stuff like that. And I think Blackheart obviously is a lot more established than Koba and it's been going a lot longer, and I love Blackheart and I just want to keep improving, listening to feedback, growing, offering new things, maintaining our identity, you know, doing things that are slightly different from the rest. I just want to keep going on that path. I just want Blackheart to be known for being super comfortable, super fun, fashionable, like having a bit of personality, and also being just very functional. You know, I have ridden in that stuff for years and years and years, and if it is not going to work in the saddle, we do not produce it. Like our denim hybrids, for example, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but that took years to perfect because they just were not right. They were not fitting right. We changed fabric 3 times, we changed the style, like it just took ages. And I get a lot of pressure in my ear, like, right, we need to push the button now, otherwise we're not going to get it for Christmas, for this and for that. And obviously, like, winter is our busiest time because it's Black Friday, there's Christmas, there's all these different things, and there's all the pop-up shows. So it is really stressful to get things ready knowing you need to order it really early, but sometimes I'm just like, no, we're not ordering that. We need to just perfect it and wait, and then you kind of miss the boat and you have to go with the next chunk, which can be quite difficult, but they're the decisions I guess you have to make as a business owner. Koba, I'd like to grow it. I'd like to grow our online following in the US. We have a decent following in the UK, but the online side is something I'd really like to grow, and I would love to open more stores in America, but we are very new here, so I'm not gonna run before we can walk, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, this was another question I got a lot of who's your new boyfriend, or boyfriend reveal, face reveal, stuff like that. So my boyfriend is not big on social media and he doesn't want to be, so I am trying to respect his privacy. So you guys obviously know I have a boyfriend. I want to share that I have one. I just respect his privacy, so that means not sharing his full face, not naming him, not talking too much about him. And I think that's partly because he is a private person, but partly because of his job. So I will tell you, he's in the military, and I think that is a job that needs its privacy. So yeah, I don't know, I think, like, well, let me give you some backstory. I met him in, probably was it early May, and just, yeah, rolled from there. He's very sweet, very handsome, he's great, but also, like, it's weird sharing relationships online. I don't love doing it. I don't love telling everybody my business, and I know that's something you sign up to when you become like an influencer or you put your life online, but don't forget, I only started by wearing pretty horse outfits and sharing the odd video of my horse, and then it kind of grew and grew and grew, and then people want to know everything, which I love. I love that you guys are such nosy bitches. But it then has its negatives. Like, I went through, not a public breakup, but I had a public relationship. We then broke up, and then I got asked about it for years afterwards. And then the last relationship I had, I chose not to put it online, which I'm so grateful for, because he ended up going and doing some very public things, and I would prefer just not to be associated with that. So I think we need to learn levels of privacy. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say about him. Probably not going to post a face reveal ever, but who knows? I'll just keep putting sneaky little private, not secret posts on. Who is looking after your horses whilst you're away, and do you miss them? So I have had help at the stables for years. I'm super lucky. I've got an incredible team, and they are keeping the horses going, keeping them looked after. So everything's great. Like, they keep me updated, get pictures, it's fine. And one thing I noticed from being away for a few months last year is nothing really changes. You come back and everything's the same. And I don't think horses need ridden every single day anyway. I mean, they do get exercised while I'm not there, but unless you're campaigning for teams, competing, doing like more high level stuff, which I haven't done for quite some time now, I just don't think it's necessary. They get exercised a lot, they get some good variation, hacks, stuff like that, but I don't think they need trained every single day. So them having a little breather while I'm not there is fine, and they're good. They're living life. But yes, I do miss them. Like, you get so used to it. I've been riding since I was literally a toddler, and I've been competing since I was 8 years old. So my life has revolved around horses for a long time. So it's taking a little bit of adjusting to not ride every single day. It's really strange. Or like not be at the yard every single week. It's been weird. And especially when the Blackheart girls are posting like yard days and going and visiting, I'm getting a little bit of FOMO. I'm a little bit like, they're my babies, they're my horses. But no, I'm grateful that they get lots of love and they're looked after. I've been over this one. This was another one saying, do you have a new boyfriend? Don't be shy, tell us who it is. How did you meet him? Are you in love? But I think I've covered that, so we're all good. USA, UK foods, which one is better? So I would say, I personally prefer US foods, but I think it is a little bit more complicated. Like, I've learned since being here, you've got to really look at the label and see what you're ingesting, because I think there's a lot of stuff in US food that's banned in the UK and in Europe. And it's hard because obviously when you've grown up in one country your entire life, like, you're used to eating certain things. So it has taken me a little bit of adjusting, and there is definitely things I miss in the UK. I think in the UK we have better Diet Coke. I personally think we've got better chocolate and crisps and stuff like that. But then I would say Americans do have a lot better fast food. Like, I love Chick-fil-A. The sauce is incredible and the chicken's brilliant. I really like Panda Express and stuff like that. I miss Chinese and Indian food in England, so when I go back, I'm definitely going to get a Chinese takeaway because that is the best. I actually find cooking easier here though. I think it might be the measurements. I really enjoy using cups and having like cup measurements. I find that a lot easier than having to weigh out grams. And I'm sure you could do that in England too, but it's just, you know, something I'm learning. Also, I really like the drinks in America. So this is a strawberry vanilla Olipop, which is a probiotic soda, which I really like. This is delish. Also, my favorite drink on the planet is Dr. Pepper, so that is definitely more popular in the US, so I love that. But I'm trying to limit myself. I don't let myself have too many fizzy drinks. Anyway, moving on. That's pretty much it. That's kind of the end of the questions, because there was a ton, but they were all in the same theme. It was USA, horses, boyfriend, and then a few like rogue questions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So when I come back to England, I'll film some more yard stuff. I also want to film a house tour here because, as you can see, my decor is very girly, pretty princess. And I enjoyed decorating so much. So I'll give you guys a house tour soon. I'll do some updated yard tour, riding, being back in England when I get back. And let me know what else you guys want to see. I've been doing a lot of, like I said at the start of this video, I've been doing a lot of volunteering at the dog shelter, so I could try and do a YouTube video on that if anybody is interested, or some days in the life in the US. I'm just kind of trying to figure out my content because I've predominantly been a horses first content, and now I'm having to do a little bit more of me, which sometimes I just feel like I have zero personality for social media and I'm not cut out to be an influencer. So yeah, I don't know, that's a weird one. But if there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. I'm gonna update my podcast soon. It's just a lot of yapping for one girl, and I'm just a girl. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, I enjoyed chatting to you guys. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for being nosy. Stay nosy. I love you guys. And I will see you on the next video. So like and subscribe, and I love you. Bye.